Okay, so good evening to all. So today we basically discuss about zeros and poles. Then we will move to Cauchy residue theorem, and then we will try to execute this Cauchy residue theorem to determine some of the well-known integrals. So before going into zeros and poles, so I think that poles is something new concept to you, but I hope that you all know that what we actually mean by say zero, right? Zero of polynomial. So first of all, without a delay, let's start. So suppose z equals to z naught, z equal to z naught, z equal to z naught is an isolated singularity. Z equal to z naught is an isolated singularity of a complex function f, and that fz equals to, so if z equal to z naught is actually an isolated singularity, so what does it mean by saying isolated singularity? Isolated singularity means that you can actually may consider a circular disk around z equal to z naught such that fz is analytic on the entire neighborhood except possibly at the point z equal to z naught. So except only that point z equal to z naught. So that means that it is isolated and also a singularity. So fz equal to k, the integration is taken from minus infinity to infinity, ak into z minus z naught to the power k. Now since it is a Laurent expansion, so Laurent expansion will consider first of all it will consist of the negative powers of z, also positive powers of z. But what is the basic difference with Laurent series and Taylor series? In Taylor series you will only have positive powers of z. Okay, so in Taylor series you will only have ak into z minus z naught to the power k, these type of terms. Okay, you will not get any negative power, but here in case of the Laurent series representation you will get the powers which are actually negative. So this is the Laurent series representation of f, which is valid for the punctured open disk. This punctured open disk 0 less than or equal to modulus of z minus z naught to r, and so this part which is actually consists of negative powers of z, this series is actually called the principal part. So this is called actually the principal part of the series. In the discussion that follows we will assign different names to the isolated singularity. So for this isolated singularity we will only discuss about different types of isolated singularity. Okay, so first of all, what do we mean by saying isolated singularity? Isolated singularity means that around that z equal to z naught point we can always construct a neighborhood such that in complex plane the neighborhood means a circular disk. So around the isolated singularity z equal to z naught you can construct a neighborhood such that z equal to z naught is the only point where the function fails to be analytic, and any other point on that neighborhood the function will be analytic. So without a delay, so very briefly we will discuss classification of isolated singular points. Okay, so classification of isolated singular point. So an isolated singular point z equal to z naught of a complex function f is given a classification depending on whether the principal part 2, this principal part that means the terms containing negative powers this principal part that has zero element, finite number of elements, or infinite number of elements. Okay, so all the classification is we are doing all the classification depending upon the number of elements present in that series, in this series. Okay, is it clear? Only on this series, which is actually the principal part. Now, so if the principal part or this principal part is actually contains no element, that means the Lorentz series is identical with the Taylor series, then the isolated singularity is removable singularity. Can you please give give one example of removable singularity? A removable singularity is like limit z tends to 0 sin z by z, we are defining a function like fz equal to sin z by z for z not equals to 0, and for z equal to 0 we are defining it to be 5. Okay, so if z tends to 0, then limit sin z by z is equal to limit z tends to 0 sin z by z equal to 1. But we have defined the value to be 5, right? So there is a discontinuity at z equal to 0. So the function is itself not continuous. So there is no chance of getting analytic at z equal to 0, right? So but if you define the function in another way, like sin for fz equal to sin z by z where z not equals to 0, and fz equal to 1 when z equals to 0, then the function is analytic at the then z equals to 0 is a singular point. But now you can now you have make the function to be analytic at z equal to 0, right? Because the Taylor series, then you can, if you just like so sin z by z, so then what is happening, your singularity by suitably defining you can remove the singularity. That's why it is called removable singularity, right? But if the principal part contains a finite number of non-zero terms, then z plus z naught, z equal to z naught is called a pole. So what does pole means? That this principal part will contains only k equal to 1 to m elements, only finite number of elements. Can you give me one example of a pole? Now if it contains n terms, then we call this to be pole of order n, and if it contains only one element, this principal part contains only one element, then we will call it a simple pole. Okay, this is called a simple pole, right? Can you give me an example of a simple pole? An example of a simple pole, please. An example of a simple pole is 1 by z. Z equal to 0 is here a simple pole, right? Got my point? 1 by z is a simple pole. Z equal to 0 is a simple pole of 1 by z. Okay, and if you consider the function fz equal to 1 by z ki power n, then z equal to 0 is a pole of order n, right? Because it contains a minus n, this a minus n. Now apart from removable singularity pole, we have another type of singularity that is called essential singularity. And what does this essential singularity mean? Essential singularity means this Lorentz expansion, the principal part contains infinitely many terms. So that based upon Lorentz series expansion, the singularities are of three types. One is the removable singularity, other one is the pole, and the third one is the essential singularity. So just for your brief recapitulation, so what will be the Lorentz series expansion? This Lorentz, suppose z equal to z naught, the Lorentz series expansion for 0 less than modulus of z minus z naught less than r. Now, so what happens for immovable singularity? For immovable singularity, the Lorentz series reduces to the Taylor series type, right? Now, pole of order n. So, pole of order n will contain n elements in the principal part and infinite elements in the positive part. And for simple pole, this simply n equal to 1. Put n equal to 1 here, so only this term will remain. So that is why it is an example of a simple pole. Okay, and what happens for essential singularity? For essential singularity, you will get infinitely elements in the principal part. Is it clear, Priyanka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Krishna Swami sir, is it clear up to what I discussed till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, should I go a little bit slower or is it okay? Okay, so now just I am giving you one more example of what I have discussed. The same problem here in this book they have discussed. Okay, so what is the example, and this is the most standard one, right? So proceeding, you can see sin z by z, and what is the and I request all of you to please remember some of the well-known Taylor series expansion like e to the power z, sin z, cos z, sin hyperbolic z, cos hyperbolic z. Okay, logarithm of 1 plus z. Okay.
So what is the last one you said, sir, to remember?
Logarithm ln of 1 plus z,
Oh, okay, sir.
because these are some of the standard types of like some of the standard problems. These problems are actually. Now, so here is it clear, right, that sin z by z equals to 0 is actually removable singularity, and I have discussed till now that if you define f0 equal to 1, then you can actually, so the function fz actually becomes analytic, right? So that's why now if you have sin z by z square, so you have expression about sin z, right? If you divide by z square, you will get this principal part as 1 by z. Is it okay, Priyanka? This principal part is 1 by z.
Yes.
So sin z by z square, so z equal to 0 is a simple pole of sin z by z square. Is it clear? Similarly, if you divide by z to the power 4, then it will be a pole of order 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Next, similarly, Priyanka, what's this question? This is like fz equal to 1 by z minus 1 square, like this z minus 3 is okay. So you have to expand this 1 by this function 1 by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 3 on this interval, and on this interval does 3 belongs? No, in this interval only singularity is, so you are considering the punctured disk around z equal to 1, right? So 1 by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 3, z equal to 1 is a pole of order 2 because it is divisible with a power of 2, z minus 1 to the power 2, right? Now fz equal to e to the power 3z, this is actually an essential singularity. If you expand fz equal to e to the power 3z, you will get, Priyanka, what will be expression for e to the power 3z? Tell some of the
1 plus 3 by z plus 3 by z whole square
divided by factorial 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So the principal part contains infinitely many terms, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is why it is actually an essential singularity. So in your syllabus you have now. So now we will discuss 0. So we all know about zeros of a polynomial, right? So for example, I am giving one polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. So what will be the zeros? X square minus 5x plus 6. The zeros will be if you equate the polynomial with fx equals to 0, right? And the same goes for a complex number. So a number z0 is 0 of a function f, and now please remember that to be a 0, first of all the function should be analytic on that point, okay? So recall a number z0 is 0 of a function f z0 equal to 0 if fz0 equal to 0. Now we say that an analytic function f has a 0 of order n at z equal to z0 if fz0 equal to 0, f prime z0 equal to 0, f double prime z0 equal to 0, but if n minus 1 z0 equal to 0, but fn z0 is not equals to 0. Is it clear? Now similarly, if a 0 has order 1, then it is called simple 0. Now there are some like basic theorems that like if fz is analytic on some disk and z equal to z naught is a 0 of order n, then you can write fz in terms of z minus z naught की power n into phi z, where phi is analytic at z equal to z naught and phi z naught not equals to 0. Now I am putting you some trivial question. So next, order of a 0. So I am giving you one example, that fz equal to z sin z square. So will you please solve it, that fz equal to z sin z square. This has a 0 at z equals to 0. So you need to determine the analytic function fz equal to z sin z square. Now you need to determine the order of the 0. So first of all, z equal to 0 satisfies this fz equals to 0, right? Now you just obtain the Maclaurin expansion. So what you have to do, just put sin z square. At sin z square you can write it as like z square minus z to the power 6 by factorial 3. Write that. Just instead of z we are putting z square in the expression of sin z. So now you can take z square out. Now if you take z square out of here, then z into sin z square, you can write it as z cube phi z. Take this z square out. So what will be your phi z? Phi z will be 1 minus z4 this plus z cube power 8 by factorial phi. So z equal to 0 is a order of 3 of f, right? Now if I say that fz has a 0 at z equal to z naught of order n, then 1 by fz will have a pole at z equal to z naught of the same order. So what actually I mean to say, that this fz equal to z sin z square. Now if you put 1 by fz, then 1 by fz will be 1 by z sin z square, right? So that will be 1 by z sin z square. And if 1 by z sin z square, so z sin z square has a pole of at z equal to 3, z equal to 0 of order 3, then 1 by z sin z square has a pole of order 3 at z equals to 0. Is it clear, Priyanka? Same thing for pole of order n. A function f analytic in a punctured disk this has a pole. Okay. I am audible, right, to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Priyanka, please respond. Now, so this has a pole of order n at z equal to z naught. If and only just similarly, you can just like go through the proof. The proof is very trivial. No need to worry about the proofs. You just remember the results. So fz has a pole at z equal to z naught of order n if and only if this f can be written in terms of fz equal to phi z by z minus z naught to the power n. Okay. Where obviously phi z is analytic and phi z not equals to 0. Now this is the theorem which I was telling you previously. Okay, so what I will do, I will upload the PDF of the entire book to probably on tomorrow, and then I will write down that which pages you have to go through and which questions you have to solve. I will not crop the PDF, I will upload the entire book, so whenever you can also read the other things which I will not discuss, so that you can get some summary about the entire things.
What is the name of the book, sir?
So the same book, DG Gill, Dennis G. Gill, Complex Analysis PDF. I will upload this. I don't think that I have uploaded it. I will upload the book today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And this book is very much useful for those who are preparing for NPTEL exam as well as for GATE exam, because I find this book to be the most prominent book, and it contains a plenty of exercises. If you solve the exercises, and also there are solutions of the exercises in the very last part of the book, so you can cross check your answer whether you have done correct or not. So now, if the function g and h are analytic at z equal to z naught, now h has a 0 of order n at z equal to z naught, and if gz naught not equals to 0, then fz equal to gz by hz has a pole of order n at z equal to z naught. This is also very trivial. You use the previous two results, this and the result of 0, will prove this thing. Now just solve. You can, if you want, you can solve inspection of the rational function. Write down this rational function, tell me about the zeros and the poles of this rational function. Fz equal to 2z plus 5 by z minus 1 by into z plus 5 into z minus 2 की power 4. Priyanka, please tell me the zeros and also the pole and their respective orders.
So z is equal to 1 9 minus 5 as simple poles.
Yes, and z equal to 2.
Pole of order 4.
And the zeros are z equal to minus 5 by 2, right? Okay. Now I will just discuss one, like what we call say meromorphic function. So a function f is meromorphic if it is analytic throughout the domain D except possibly for poles in D. So this function is meromorphic in the entire complex plane, right? Because it has only poles, right? 1, minus 5 and 2, it has only poles. So this fz function is meromorphic function. Now you like please note down this exercises 6.4. Exercises 6.4 you will try to solve. Exercises 6.4. Exercise 6.4 up to question number 30. Question number 30. Priyanka, please solve question number 26. Krishnaswamy sir, please solve this 26. You need to determine the order and the poles and the corresponding orders. So this is cos z minus cos 2z by z की power 6.
So 0 of order 6.
0 is a
Order 6. Pole of order 6.
why 0 is a order 4? No, 0 will be not order 6. 0 will be of order 4, right Krishnaswamy sir?
Yes, sir.
Because if you write cos z, the cos z is 1 minus z square by factorial 2 plus z की power 4 by factorial 4, and here also cos 2z you can write 1 minus 2z ki square by factorial 2. So this minus z square by factorial 2 plus 2z square by factorial 2, so there will be z square by factorial 2, and that z square will cancel with one of the z ki power 6, right? So z equal to 0 is a pole of order 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Also, are there any other poles? We have to determine, like cos z equal to cos of 2z. So cos z equal to cos 2z. No, sorry, only poles na. So z की power 6 से calculate होगा. Okay. Now z equal to 0. Z cube sin 1 by z. Z की power 0. Is z की power 0 is an essential singularity? Tell me. Z cube 1 by z. Is z equal to 0 is an essential singularity? Fz equal to z cube into sin 1 by z. Then tell me why. If it is so, why?
So essential singularity, sir.
Because it contains infinitely many.
Infinitely fixed part.
So what we will do in this part, cos of 1 by z plus 2. So what we will do, you will just put z plus 2 equal to 0. Z plus 2 equal to w. So this will be cos of 1 by w. This will be omega plus w plus 1. So w plus 1 into cos 1 by w, then z equals to minus 2 means w equals to 0. So here also you can prove that it is actually an essential singularity. Okay. Now we need the residues and residues theorem. So what we have observed, that we saw in the last section, if a complex function f, this is very important, this part. Okay, this part is very important, this residues and residue theorems. So we saw in the last section that if a complex function f has an isolated singularity at a point z0, then f has a Lorentz series representation of this type, which converges for all j near z0. More precisely, the representation is valid in some deleted neighborhood of z0 or punctured open disk of this. In this section, we will say determine this coefficient a minus 1. That means the coefficient of 1 by z. Sorry, the coefficient of z minus z0 to the power minus 1, the coefficient of that term. Right? So this term a minus 1, we call it residue. What we call it? Residue. So later on, from here on, we will define this a minus 1. We will call this a minus 1 as residue of fz at z0. Okay? Now Krishna sir, please determine, we have this function fz as 1 by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 3. You determine the Lorentz series obtained in the example valid for the deleted neighborhood of z equal to 1. You determine the expression for this, which means you have to determine 0 less than okay. So you need to determine the Lorentz series expansion of this function around this coefficient. Please give a try to this function, that 0 less than modulus of z minus 1 less than 2. So by simply expanding it you can also do, or without not expanding, like without not expanding also you can do, right? So what we will do here, what we will do, see z minus 3, so you take z minus 1 as w, So what is your interval? 0 less than modulus of w less than 2. So here z minus 3 you can write it as w minus 2. Now take minus 2 common, you can write it as 0 less than w modulus of w by 2 less than 1. Now here you can write it as like 1 minus w, and then you can manipulate this z minus 3 term. Utilizing this you can calculate the expansion. So the residue you can determine it to be minus 1 by 4. And also there are simple formulae to determine the residue. Okay, just I am telling you, like Priyanka, carefully watch it, that z equal to 1 is a pole of order 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we will do, it will take derivative of this function, first multiply with z minus 1 whole square. So what we will get the function to be? 1 by z minus 3, right?
Yes, sir.
So now take first order derivative. It is a pole of order 2. You determine the first order derivative. So what it will be? It will be minus 1 by z minus 3 whole square, right?
Yes, sir.
Now this is a pole of order 2 divided by 2 minus 1 factorial. So what will be 2 minus 1 factorial? It is simply 1 factorial 1. Now derivative of z minus 3. The derivative of z minus 3 is minus z minus 3 to the whole square, right?
Yes, sir.
Now put z equal to 1. So what we will get? Minus of 1 divided by minus 2 whole square. So what we will get? Minus 1 by 4. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So this is actually the formula for a simple pole. Residual at fz z0 is equal to limit z tends to z0, z minus z0 into fz. Now if it is a simple pole, yes, here is the formula. If f has a simple pole, f has a pole of order n at z equal to z0, then residue will be, divide this with 1 by n minus 1 factorial, take the limit z tends to z0 and take derivative of z minus z0 की power n into fz. If it is a pole of order n, take derivative of the n minus 1 order. अभी याद रहेगा ना कितना, how pole is of order n, so first multiply with z minus z0 की power n with the fz, then take up to n minus 1 derivative. Okay, put the limit z equal to z0, put the value z equal to z0, then divide by n minus 1 factorial. So the this derivative, this denominator part and the derivative term, it will have the same order, n minus 1. There is a very nice proof. So first of all, this 1 by z minus 1 whole square into z minus 3. So you determine the residue at the point z equal to 1 and at the point z equal to 3. Please determine the residues at the 2 points.
So 1 by 4 and minus 1 by 4 and 1 by 4.
Yes.
And 1 and 3 respectively.
Yes, you use the formula, right?
Yes, sir.
So z equal to 3 it is 1 by 4 and z equal to minus 1 it is minus 1 by 4. Very nice, very nice. So for my online friends I will discuss it. So z equal to 3 is a simple pole. You multiply by z minus 3 only, then put z equal to 3 the limit, you will get it to be 1 by 4. And now since it is a pole of order 2, just use the formula here. So z equal to 1 is a pole of order 2. Take derivative, first multiply with z minus 1 whole square. It will be 1 by z minus 3. Take first order derivative ddz. It will be minus 1 by z minus 3 whole square. Put z equal to 1. It will be minus 1 by 4. So you determine in there also. But also I will discuss very briefly some of the it is very easy here to determine, but sometimes to determine the residue becomes some tedious. So there is one formula, and this formula sometimes comes directly in exams. So you have a rational function like gz, like division of two function gz by hz, and if gz not equal to 0, and if the function h has a 0 of order 1 at z naught, then f has a simple pole at z equal to z naught, and simple pole at z equal to z naught, and the residue is gz0 divided by h prime z0. There are also some of the problems like like 1 by z ki power 4 plus 1. So what will be the poles? The poles will be z ki power 4 plus 1 equal to 0. So you put z square plus I into j square and simply using like z ki power 4 plus 1, the roots will be e ki power pi I by 4, e ki power 3 pi I by 4, e ki power 5 pi I by 4, and e ki power 7 pi I by 4. So these are actually the roots, and you can use Euler's formula directly, and you also determine this in terms of this is the polar coordinate form, r theta form, and this is the Gaussian form, or like this is amplitude and that type of form, r theta form, and it is actually x plus iy form, right? So that is how you can determine the poles of this type of 1 by z ki power 4 plus 1, and this is how you can determine the residue. So for residue you need to put like z minus z1, and all poles are simple pole. You can just take product and then just put the values of z1 and all. We can determine the residue at those points. Now I will discuss a great theorem, one of the greatest theorem of Cauchy's, that is called Cauchy's residue theorem. Okay, is it clear how we are doing this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will discuss residue theorem a bit later. First of all, I am giving some of the problems to you. Priyanka and Krishnan is there. Please solve this 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 and 12. These 6 problems please try to solve. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just give me 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, I will return. I will not shut down my screen. It is open. You just solve this. Okay, don't leave. I am coming. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear now what you have to do?
Yes, sir.
You have to determine, first you have to determine the poles, and then you have to determine the residue.
Yes,
Formula याद है ना रेसिड्यू का?
What's sir?
फॉर्मूला याद है ना रेसिड्यू का?
Yes, sir.
Just give me a couple of 2-3 minutes break, okay? Hello, the questions are solved. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Questions are solved.
Seventh one, eighth one, ninth one, and 10th one, sir.
Okay, so okay, so I am very what is the answer of the 10th one? Tell me the answer of the 10th one.
So for 10th one, I got 4 cells, 1 plus 5 and 1 minus 5.
But they have poles of order 2, right? Poles of order 2 for question 10, because it is z square minus 2z plus 2 whole square, right?
Yes, sir, I missed it too.
So that is 1 plus I is a root 1 plus I and 1 minus I, and they are actually double poles. Pole of order 2. So what you need to do? You write it as z minus 1 plus I whole square into z minus bracket 1 minus I whole square. Then you multiply with that term, take the second derivative, take the first derivative, and then put the z equal to 1 plus I or z equal to 1 minus I, whatever you want to do. Okay, and that is how you can solve this problem. Is it okay, Priyanka?
Yes, sir.
Okay. क्वेश्चन 11 हो जाएगा ना. क्वेश्चन 11 देखो, न्यूमिनेटर में क्या है? -1, -2, -3. Now if you put -1, this function does not have -1 as a root. Also -2, -3, they are not zeros of this function, right? So this z equal to -1, -2, -3, they are simple poles, right? You just multiply with z plus 1, take the limit at -1, and consequently you can determine this problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will discuss about residue theorem. So how we need to determine residue, we know, right? Now there is one of the most important theorem, and it is named after Cauchy, that tells about Cauchy residue theorem. So we come now to the reason why the residue concept is so much important. Residue concept is important because it is very helpful to determine continuous integral. The next theorem states that under some circumstances we can evaluate complex integrals, integration C f z dz, by summing the residues at the isolated singularities of f within the closed contour C. See, here there are how many? This is actually there is this domain, and on this domain this is the contour. Okay, and in between the contour you have n number of singularities. That means isolated singularities. Okay, now this singularity should be isolated. That means that you can construct neighborhood such that these zi's are the only singularities inside the neighborhood, right? So if you have n number of isolated singularities, then if you want to determine the integration f z dz, then the sum will be, the answer will be 2 pi I into sum of the n residues at these n isolated singularities. Is it clear? Let D be a simply connected domain. D simply connected means there are no hole inside D. This is not punctured. You know, like simply connected and multiply connected. So this is a simply connected domain in which you have a contour C, and within the contour lies exactly within this D. Well, inside this D you have n number of isolated singularities. Then you can always determine the integration in terms of the residues. The residues will be 2 pi I into sum of the residues, right? Please, I am giving you 2 to 3 minutes. Just read this statement. Now, Priyanka, do you have this assignment for question number 9 and question number 10? I think that you can now easily clearly solve this kind of problems, right? If you want to determine the residue, as well as if you want to determine the integration using this residue type of theorem, right?
Yes, sir.
The residue of fz like that. So it is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so this is Cauchy's residue theorem. Okay. Now you need to determine this problem. Determine this example, Priyanka. Evaluation by the residue theorem. Be careful about the characteristic of the contour, that whether which actually did. So for your convenience I am telling you that once again that z equal to 1 is a double pole and the residue is minus 1 by 4, and for z equal to 3 it is a simple pole and the residue is 1 by 4. Okay, so now you just determine this contour integration. Krishna Swami sir, please determine this contour integration. First prove determine the A part, next determine the B part.
So first one is 0 and the second one it is minus pi I by 2.
Why first one is 0? Because the first one contains both of the singular points, right? So the residues are minus 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. So the first one, the answer will be 0, right?
Yes.
And for the second one, the answer is
Minus pi I by 2.
minus pi I by 2, because you have to multiply by 2 pi I, right? So see, z equal to 1 for my online friends, z equal to 1 and z equal to 3, these are the two singularities. So z equal to 1, this is actually a double pole, and z equal to 3 is a single pole. So what residue at 1 is actually minus 1 by 4 and residue at 3 is 1 by 4. You take the sum, multiply by 2 pi I, you will get 0. Because z equal to 1 and z equal to 3, both of them lies well within the inside the rectangle. Now if you take this contour z equal to mod z equal to 2, so this circle only contains z equal to 1, so the residue is at 1 is minus 1 by 4, you multiply with 2 pi I, you will get minus pi I by 2. Krishnaswamy sir, it is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So we are just using this Cauchy residue theorem. Okay, now solve this problem. 2z plus 6 by z square plus 4 dz. Please try, just first determine the poles. So z square plus 4 equals to 0. So what are the poles? The poles
2i
are
and minus 2i.
2i and minus 2i. So 2i and minus 2i, are they both lies inside this z minus I equal to 2?
No sir, only 2i.
Only 2i lies, exactly. So what will be the residue? Just so here it will be z minus z plus 2i, right? So above it will be 2z plus 6 and the below there will be z plus 2i, because you have to multiply with z minus 2i of this fz. Okay,
Yes sir.
so
But
yes, so that will be, you put z equal to 2i, that will be 6 plus 4i by 4i, so 3 plus 2i by 2i into, you have to multiply with 2 pi I, so you will get pi into 3 plus 2i. And this problem was already discussed in tutorial, right? In the assignment this problem was given, right? Question number 10, tutorial 4, question number 10. Is it clear, Priyanka? Clear, right?
yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, now determine this e की power z by z4 in plus 5z cube dz, where the contour C is the circle mod z equal to 2. हो पाया है? e की पावर z by z की पावर 4 plus 2 5z cube.
Just a minute, sir.
Okay. So first of all, if you take z cube common, you will get z cube as a simple pole of order 3, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have to need to multiply with z cube, right? And then you need to take derivative up to second order. So you need to determine d2 dz square e की power z by z plus 5. कृष्णा स्वामी सर, हो रहा है आपका? See, this is e की power z by z4 plus 5z cube. So if you take, so poles are actually the zeros of this function. So z की power 4 plus 5z cube equal to 0 give you z cube equal to 0. So z equal to 0 is a pole of order 3. So to determine residue, you multiply first with z cube. So we multiply first with z cube, you will get e की power z by z plus 5. Next you need to apply the residue theorem. For first you need to determine the residue. So then you need to take derivative d2 dz square of e की power z by z plus 5. You determine the up second order derivative, then put z equal to 0 there. If you put z equal to 0 there, okay, so what we will get? We will get the required residue and then just multiply with 2 pi I to get the answer.
So instead it is 17 by 250.
क्या?
Residue equal to 0, 17 by 250.
Okay. Yes. Residue is
17 by 250.
17 by 250. You multiply with 2 pi I. You will get the.
Pi I the reference.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Correct answer. Krishna Swami sir, is it clear? कृष्ण स्वामी सर, ये हो पाया? देखिए, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल राइट द डिनोमिनेटर एज z की पावर 4 plus 5z cube equal to z की पावर cube. Okay, I am giving okay. प्रियंका, इसको डिटरमाइन करो. इंटीग्रेशन क्लोज कंटूर इंटीग्रेशन tan z dz with the contour c is the circle modulus of z equal to 2. इसको डिटरमाइन करो अभी. ओके, so see, it is a की पावर z by z की पावर 4 plus 5z cube, right? So what you have to do, you need to first compute the residue, and z equal to 0 is a pole of order 3 and z equal to minus 5 is a simple pole, but this circle mod z equal to 2, this does not contain z equal to minus 5, right? So you just use residue theorem, you multiply with 2 pi r into residue, and what is the residue? The residue is actually a pole of order 3, so you need to multiply with z cube, take second order derivative and then put z equal to 0. You will get this to be, as Priyanka has mentioned, that will be, you will get as 17 by 250, the residue to be 17 by 250, and next you multiply by 2 pi I, you will just get this to be 17 pi by 125 into I. So this is the answer. Next, evaluation by the residue theorem. Integration contour c tan z dz where the contour c is the circle mod z equal to.
So 0.
So first of all, please tell me the poles. Which are the poles?
Pi by 2.
And also minus pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Pi by 2 and also minus pi by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So has simple poles at the points where, so your answer will be incorrect, right? So the only zeros of cos z are minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 that lies within mod z equal to 2. So the integrand, प्रियंका आपने z equal to minus pi by 2 पे रेसिड्यू नहीं निकाला था ना? निकाला था?
No, sir.
तो जीरो कैसे आ गया? गलत कर दिया ना? The integrand f z equal to tan z sin z by cos z has simple poles at the points where cos z vanishes. So only zeros of cos z are the real numbers z equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. N equal to 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 and so on. So now only minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 they lies inside the circle mod z equal to 2. Right, Priyanka? So you need to determine, so there are two poles which lies within this and both of them are simple poles. And also the residues are
Oh, okay, sir. I differentiated both numerator and denominator.
okay. So gz equal to sin z, az equal to cos z, and h prime z equal to minus sin z. We see from 4 that residue of fz minus pi by 2 equal to minus 1, and also residue of fz pi by 2 is minus 1, right? So यहाँ पे हमने वो वाला फॉर्मूला लगाया gz equal to sin z, and also sin pi by 2 does not vanish, right?
Yes, sir.
So sin pi by 2 does not vanish. Also sin minus pi by 2 does not vanish. So the residual is sin z divided by h prime z, and you have to put at minus pi by 2. So sin minus pi by 2, sin minus pi by 2 will vanish. You will get minus 1, and here also you will get minus 1. So minus 1 plus minus 1 is minus 2. You need to multiply with 2 pi I. You will get the answer to be minus 4 pi I. Now once again, evaluation by the residue theorem. Integration e to power 3 by z dz where the contour c is the circle mod z equal to 1. Determine this one also.
So here we can directly expand this, sir.
Yes, just use Laurent expansion.
Then we get residue as 3.
So what will be the residue?
3.
So what will be the answer?
6 power.
Yes. So you just expand it. If you expand it, you will get the residue to be 3. E की power 3z, expand it, you will get 1 plus 3 by z plus and so on. So 3 by z, and the residue is 3 because residue means the coefficient of 1 by z. That means 1 minus z minus z naught to the power minus 1, and here z naught is actually 0. So e की power 3z, so the this is actually 3. So from 5 this formula you can, using Cauchy residue theorem, you can determine it to answer to be 6 pi I. So there are lots of problems. Okay, determine 21. Integration, contour integration 1 by z square plus 4z plus 3 dz. Z minus 2 equal to 3 by 2.
So 1 by 3.
1 by 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How you have solved, Priyanka? Please tell briefly.
First I found the pole, sir. I got z equal to minus 2 plus or minus 3i as the pole. Simple.
Minus 2 plus 3i.
Minus 2 plus 3i.
Okay, and also minus 2 minus 3i, right?
Yes. But minus 2 minus 3i doesn't lie inside the contour.
Okay, so only minus 2 plus 3i lies inside the domain, right? Or inside the contour, right?
Yes.
So then it is easy because they are simple poles, right? So there is one theorem that complex roots occurs in conjugate pair. So if one root is z minus 2 plus 3i, then the another root will be minus 2 minus 3i, right? Now only two poles, so you need to just put into there that, and you can, like, from here on you can determine the residue and just you can just determine it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it equal to x square by 4 1 x square by 4. Can you determine question number 24? So what is the answer? Answer of 21?
5 by 3, sir.
5 by 3.
Yes, sir.
5 by 3, 6.5. Which question? 21. 6.5. Oh, 6.5. Hmm. 6.5, 21, pi by 3.
Same answer, sir.
Okay. Now determine question number 24. Determine question number 24. Z by z plus 1 into z square plus 1 dz, and C is the ellipse 16x square plus y square equal to 4. It is not a circle, remember, it is an ellipse. So you write it as 16x square plus y square equal to 4, divide by 4. So you will get 4x square plus y square by 4 equal to this, right? Then you can determine the semi-major axis and minor axis, semi-minor axis, and then you can just compute that which pole actually lies inside that contour, and then you can actually compute it. Got my point, Priyanka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, तो डिटरमाइन करो कौन सा पोल इसके अंदर बिलोंग करेगा इलिप्स का.
So between final answer is pi I.
Once again pi I. So
Okay, pi I.
which pole is actually lying inside the ellipse?
Plus and minus I.
Plus I and minus I, exactly. Because if you divide by 4, you will get x square by 4, sorry, 4x square plus y square by 4. So in the y axis you have up to plus minus 2, right?
Yes.
So up to plus minus 2y you will get, so plus minus I belongs to this domain. So you just take plus minus y, you determine the residue. So what are the residues actually?
I got 1 by 4 into 1 plus I and 1 by 2 into 1 minus I.
So final answer?
I got pi I, sir.
Okay, so pi I. Let me cross check. Okay, 24 का आंसर दिया नहीं है मैंने. The answer you are getting is pi I, right? I hope that you did not do any mistake. 361. इस क्वेश्चंस को ट्राई करना. हाँ प्रियंका, जैसे 25 का क्वेश्चन करो. z e की पावर z by z square minus 1.
Yes.
I am not making slides because the book is very well equipped and you can see that this problem was also in your tutorial, right?
Yes, sir.
So this question they have also uploaded in the tutorial. So this book is a very standard book, this DDG book. And should I discuss complex analysis more or should I move to numerical analysis? Because complex analysis, should I have to discuss Cauchy integral formula? Cauchy integral formula में आपको कोई डाउट है आप लोगों को?
No, sir.
Okay, so I will move to
Upload this book by this week, sir.
yes, please tell me once again.
Like, will you upload this book, sir?
Yes, today itself I will upload it.
Okay, sir.
Today itself I will upload it.
Yes, sir. If there is any doubt, then we can ask in the further sessions. Sir.
Okay. So from next class I will discuss numerical analysis. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And what are in numerical analysis? Like
Sir, are you asking, sir?
yes. The syllabus is like. Also, Priyanka, please mail me the tutorials which they have uploaded on numerical analysis. Okay. That is tutorial 5 and tutorial 6.
Yes, sir. I will mail it today, sir.
Please mail it to me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for mailing it the complex analysis. That's why I am strictly following how they are giving in the tutorials the problems. So I discussed today residue theorem. That's why, because from residue theorem you are getting lots of problems, right? Lots of questions. So also please solve this problem. Z e की power z by z square minus 1 dz mod z equal to 2. So this is actually your contour. So mod z equal to 2. Priyanka, determine this. Krishnaswamy sir, please determine this.
Which question, sir?
Determine question number 25.
So getting residue as e by 2 and 1 by 2.
Residue as, so
E
which,
by 2 and 1 by 2 is both are 1 and minus 1.
so 1 and minus 1 you can determine just like for 1 you will get e by 2, and for other one you will get e minus 1 by 2 minus 2, right?
1 by 2 e, sir.
1 by 2 e, okay, e by 1 by, so the residue is, for 1 residue is e by 2,
Yes, sir.
and for the another one it is 1 by 2 e.
Yes, sir.
So 1 by 2e and e by 2. So you have to add them up and then multiply by 2 pi I to get the answer. See, so for this problem there are two poles, z equal to 1 and z equal to minus 1. So you just determine, you will get for 1 you will get the residue to be e by 2, right Priyanka? And for
Yes, sir.
and for minus 1 you will get 1 by 2e.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now determine question number 26. E की power z by z cube plus 2z square mod z equal to 3. Krishna Swami sir, please try question number 26.
Zero is the power of order 2.
Yes sir.
Minus 2 is the power of order 1.
So 0 is the pole of order 2 and minus 2 is the pole of order 1. Now sir, determine the residues. Please determine the residues. So for z equal to 0 you need to multiply with z square, then you will get e की power z by z plus 2. Take the derivative, first order derivative. Take first order derivative. Take first order derivative, put z equal to 0 and then you will get the residue. And for z equal to minus 2 you will get e की power minus 2 by 4. For z equal to minus 2 the residue is e की power minus 2 by 4. Okay, e की power minus 2 by 4. And for z equal to 0 determine the residue.
1 by 4. I got 1 by 4. So for that
1 by 4. Krishna Swami sir, is it 1 by 4?
Yes, sir.
For z equal to 0 आपने डिटरमिन किया है ना? हाँ हाँ 1 by 4 आएगा. प्रियंका यहाँ पे एक चीज होता है, e की पावर z है ना, तो e की पावर z का आप जितने भी डेरिवेटिव निकालोगे you will get e की पावर z. तो if you have e की पावर z in the numerator, just keep it outside, then take derivative of the denominator only. Okay?
Okay, sir.
ना समटाइम्स दिक्कत हो सकता है अगर e की पावर z के साथ मल्टीप्लिकेशन हो. e की पावर z नहीं निकालना पड़ेगा, सॉरी. सो व्हाट विल बी द आंसर? 1 by 4 प्लस e की पावर minus 2 e की पावर minus 1 by 4, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So the answer will be 2 pi I by 2 into 1 plus e की पावर minus 2, right? Determine the answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the answer? Final answer?
Pi I into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is square.
हाँ. So the final answer is pi I by 2 into 1 plus e की power minus 2. That means.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Cauchy residue theorem, Cauchy. ऑल्सो इफ यू वांट टू लर्न एनीथिंग ना, आप ऐसे MIT लगा के सर्च कर सकते हो कि रेसिड्यू थ्योरम क्या है, तो आपको बहुत सारे वहां पे प्रॉब्लम्स मिल जाएगा कि हाउ टू सॉल्व एंड हाउ टू नॉट सॉल्व इस MIT में जाके आप पुट कीजिए। प्रियंका ये फंक्शन में बता रहा था एफ जेड इक्वल टू लॉग ऑफ 1 प्लस जेड। देखिए यहाँ पे कितने सारे प्रॉब्लम्स है ना।
Yes, sir.
So this MIT note also, there is also like Cauchy residue theorem, everything they have like discussed here in here. I think कि आप इसको मतलब बिना देखे भी कर सकते हो, है ना। अभी आपको उतना आइडिया तो हो गया होगा। एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज मैंने डिस्कस करना भूल गया। चलो यहाँ पे वो चीज शायद है कि रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी। ओके, आपका रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी क्या होगा? सो रेसिड्यू ऑफ एफ एट इंफिनिटी इज, बस साइन चेंज हो जाता है। दैट मीन्स रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी इज एक्चुअली, अब इसको थोड़ा देखना कि रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी का क्या मतलब होता है। ठीक है, तो यहां पे जैसे कि मान लीजिए मैं बताता हूं क्या होता है। सो एफ जेड इक्वल टू दिस, राइट। सो रेसिड्यू ऑफ इंफिनिटी का क्या मतलब होता है मैं बताता हूं। सो रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी का मतलब है कि यू नीड टू कंप्यूट रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी, एफ जेड इक्वल टू 5z माइनस 2 बाई जेड इक्वल टू जेड इंटू जेड माइनस 1, राइट। तो रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी का मतलब होता है कि माइनस ऑफ रेसिड्यू 1 बाई ओमेगा स्क्वायर इंटू एफ इंटू 1 बाई डब्ल्यू 0। आपको जेड की जगह 1 बाई डब्ल्यू पुट करना होगा और यहाँ पे 1 बाई डब्ल्यू स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई करना होगा, फिर इसको जो फंक्शन आएगा उसका डब्ल्यू इक्वल टू 0 में रेसिड्यू निकालना होता है, ठीक है, और फिर उसके आगे माइनस साइन लगाना होता है, तो वो बन जाता है रेसिड्यू एट इंफिनिटी। शायद आई डोंट नो कि ये डिस्कस हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है। आई विल अपलोड दिस नोट ऑल्सो कि आपको इस नोट से भी थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया हो जाएगा कि क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है, ठीक है। यहाँ पे भी बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स है, तो आपको कोई भी चीज अगर जानना हो ना तो ऐसे उसको पुट करके MIT डाल देना, तो MIT का जो नोट्स वगैरह है उसको आपको मिल जाएगा। And these notes are very useful. I think it is Jeremy Orloff's notes. And these are not copyrighted material. You can use anywhere these notes. Okay? अच्छा, जेरेमी ओरलॉफ का ही है। प्रियंका ऐसे आप सर्च कर सकते हो, ठीक है। और आपको वो ये नोट को क्या मैं डाल दूं अपना उसमें, ओह सॉरी, एक सेकेंड। Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I will start discussing numerical analysis from the next class on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.